Welcome to Western Wisconsin Journal. I'm Bobbi Pominville, and I am your reporter on the arts and music and some other things that I think are very important. But today I'm back in my realm. It's music, and all types of music, of course, are what I love. So I'm very, very lucky to have Dr. Kris Tjornehoj back on the show because she's got so many things going and things to tell you about, and I'm actually interested in them myself. And of course, we were colleagues at the middle school.
We were.
That was a good time. So anyway, you are the UW River Falls Professor of Music. You conduct the St. Croix Valley Symphony Orchestra, a wonderful group, and the St. Croix Valley Community Band. We're going to refer to some of that a little later. Okay.
Great.
So we'll start with your new innovative idea of having a festival of hymns. And it would be at Shepherd of the Valley Lutheran Church in Afton. So very accessible to people. And yeah, of course, we do want people to join the choir. And I signed up the first day I read it, I went, I need to be singing again. I love hymns. And I know Kris would choose just great music. So that's what we're going to talk about. Now, besides the choir, what do we have happening there?
Well, the Festival of Hymns is a crazy idea, and the purpose of this was that I wanted to celebrate a little bit of tradition and classical in a time when so many things are going more contemporary. And so this is just a little bit of what I call balm for the soul. And so for a classical musician or somebody who really likes a little bit of tradition, this is something that should be accessible to anyone, any church, any denomination, anyhow. And so I have put together a group of people who will really bring quite a variety. And I have a cellist. I'll start with him. His name is Ben Osterhost, and he's got a doctorate degree in cello performance. And his father is actually a pastor in Woodbury, and he does a variety of things, but he's an amazing musician, so sensitive. And he'll be accompanying all the hymns that we sing, both for the audience and for the group. And then he'll play a solo. And what's interesting about my hymn festival is that, well, I think it should be a surprise, but I'll tell it anyway. His selection is going to not be a traditional hymn. It'll be like the only one on the program. It's going to be Schindler's List. And I know that's a very shocking thing, but it's just like I'm going to compare it to an orchestra program that I just did over the weekend at the Hastings Arts Center. And we programmed, and we're programming it again. It's called Hymn for Our Time, which is from Saving Private Ryan. So I like to always have something in there that's, if you will, common and accessible and maybe comes from a film, because that is our popular music of today for a classical musician. Mm-hmm. So Ben is playing that, and then Ji-Young Lee is a pianist from Seoul. She has her own website if you ever want to see it. She is an amazing individual, and she's doing actually coming up, she is doing a full piano recital at the university for our Francis Kohler Coffee Concert series. So that is coming up, and we'll make sure that you have the list of that, and that is actually the day after. She has a busy time. She's playing a duet with me as well on the piano. She's amazing, and she'll be doing a solo of Great Is Thy Faithfulness. So you'll recognize, most people will recognize almost, every piece. The other person that I have on the festival as a guest is Mary Schneider, and Mary hails from Stillwater, and she lived out east, and pre-COVID she was a singer, a freelance musician in New York. And then COVID did such a number on a lot of things, and she came back to this region and is working in event planning and still singing, and she'll sing a beautiful piece called The Prayer. And then my other guest is Dana Skoglund.
Yes.
Now, a little bit of background about Dana. I'll start that he was a piano professor at Augsburg for a lot of his career, decided at one point that he really liked young children, and he and his wife did not have any of their own. And he decided then to teach elementary school. And so he took a job in the Egan School District, I believe it was, and taught public school. I believe it was fourth grade was his favorite, fourth and fifth grade. And so he's this amazing man. And then he's in 7 choirs. Does that say it all? He sings, he does voiceovers, commercials, and he has this bass voice that is just resonating. And when he said that he could be a part of this, I said, you might need to do the old traditional Lord's Prayer, because it will really bless a lot of people.
Yes, it would.
So he will do that, and then beside that, the Shepherd Choir will do 2 pieces on their own, and then the Festival Choir is going to be singing some traditional music, a Mark Hayes arrangement of Holy, 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 an arrangement of Praise to the Lord the Almighty, and Jesus Loves Me. So what I tried to do is find some saucy arrangements, because I don't like anything just straight away. I'm not too, what is the word? I like a little pizzazz. I like spicy things. And
I knew you were going to do that, because I thought it's not going to be a 1-page hymn.
Never.
No.
That's not how I go. And so what'll happen is we're doing an all call for anyone who wants to sing.
Yes.
To get the music and to prepare, and then come to one practice on a Wednesday, and then the next day is the Festival of Hymns. Yes. And again, it's open to the public. Of course, it's free. And the other good news is one of the things Shepherd does the best is online worship. Yeah. And there are microphones and sound and lights, and it's a package. That's one of the strengths. And so it will be live streamed. And then it will live on the SOV YouTube archives on the website.
Yes. I've gotten very familiar with that since, a couple years ago. In the last couple of years, I know my way around YouTube a little bit.
Absolutely.
And I think that would be very convenient for a lot of people. Kris, I love that you're spreading it around and you're making it accessible to people.
One of my greatest joys is when someone from a nursing home writes me a note and says, I'm in Chicago and I just watched your Christmas concert. Thank you. I mean, I can't tell you the joy that I have. And we also did something for Christmas, and it was a little bit in-house, but hopefully we're spreading it out. We did a service for prison ministries. And so that then was targeted at our regional facility of prison ministries.
Yes.
But I do have a friend involved, it's one of my daughter's friends, who's involved in major gifts for prison ministries, international. And so she is helping us figure out ways to distribute some of these materials wider. And so between nursing homes and prisons and all of those things, all we hope is that this blesses someone.
It's a very large concept, but I love it. And I think you've got the exact right place to do it. And your church there at Shepherd obviously has got all the equipment and anything you'd ever want to send it out.
Very much so. I'll reiterate that one of the strengths is the amount of technology and technology support that goes into any production, any service.
Yes, and I wasn't going to talk about this, but being there many times, it's the attitude, the ambiance when you're sitting there. It's what touches you when you hear the music. And then it's a place that you can worship in song and through music. And that's the way I've looked at it.
Well, and that's the way that I want it to be.
Yes,
because you can always watch things online, and I do my fair amount of watching different things, but there is nothing like being in a space, handicap accessible too, that just allows you to close the doors, spend some time, and renew your spirit.
So important. And during COVID and the whole thing, it was easy to get around to different churches and worship that way. But yes, it is, there's nothing to be, I don't want to take away from the building and how wonderful the church is and how it looks, because it is a perfect place to worship.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you doing all of this.
Thank you.
Well, now what? We talked about the hymns. I think we got everything pretty much. Okay, yep. You even told me what some of the music's going to be, and I love that. Now, we've got a YouTube thing. We've got live stream. Anyone who wants to join the choir is welcome.
Absolutely.
That's what I want to talk about now, because I want them to be able to find it easily after watching this interview.
Wonderful. So if you email, and we'll put the link up there.
Yeah.
If you would email me, then I'll send you a link, and then you download the music.
Yes.
And you make your own copies.
Yes.
Because we have no idea how many people will come.
That's right.
And so I know that there'll be a core of 25, because that's what I understand already. And then there will be other people. When I put it out also on my Facebook page, I will admit. And
I'm going to put it on mine.
I did get about 5 people that are coming, 3 of them from Northfield and a couple from northern Minnesota. So it's funny how somebody's like, this sounds like fun. So again, it's open to absolutely any person.
Yes, and I love that too, because you're making it really easy for people to get in touch and people to join the group. And is that core of 25, would that be your church choir?
It would, because they will know the music and they will be the foundation. So if you feel insecure in any way, don't worry, just come on in.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I think that's perfect. And I know you have well trained them, because I've always told you you're my favorite conductor, and you are the ultimate musician in my eyes. So I know it's going to be just wonderful. Okay, now let's talk dates. The date of the concert.
Thursday, April 27th.
At 6:30.
Yes.
And are you planning on an hour or more?
It's usually about 1:15.
Okay.
And then there's a reception afterwards. And it's real food. It's real cookies. it's homemade desserts, and it's always a lot of fun.
Oh, that sounds really good. And then those of us that are singing, we have a rehearsal the night before.
Correct.
You're keeping the times the same, easy for people, 6:30. And I suppose at some point we should have the address of the church.
We will put that up.
I did forget to put that in my notes, but we'll do it. We'll make sure. And you know what? That should be a really good time for people after Easter, before more events. And of course, we're going to have good weather then.
I hope so. I think we deserve a beautiful spring and some nice spring flowers.
We certainly do. Anything else you want to say before we move on to the music department at UW?
No, just that it doesn't matter what your denomination is. We are absolutely open to anyone who loves to sing. And we just want to, all we're trying to do is build community and spread joy.
Yes. And that's something I've used my whole life, is singing. It's been my career, yes, but it's also been my pastime. It's just something that I have to be doing. And so good, you gave me this opportunity, and I'm getting back into a choir.
Thank you.
Thank you. So then at UWRF, what is going on? Any concerts you want to mention? Or I know you're busy with recitals or whatever.
I think there's a couple things that I should highlight there.
Okay.
First of all, there's also, this is also a COVID takeaway, is that we started videotaping and editing and promoting our concerts on the UWRF Music Department YouTube channel. And you can get to it by going to the website and clicking on it, or you can just search UWRF Music Department YouTube. And so there are so many concerts, because my entire Francis Kohler Coffee Concert series now is up there, and we're on year 3, year 4 of them being recorded and archived. Beautiful.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And so that happened when we couldn't bring the music to other people face to face. So that's why we went on the online. And so that is a big deal. And so every single concert is recorded and then published. So there's lots of things you can go back to visit. And so I've got 3 more of those this semester. We've got one on Friday the 20th. Well, we've got them 3 in a row. So no, we have 4 in a row. We have Alan Bear coming on, and then the following Friday at noon is Ji-Young Lee doing a solo piano recital.
Oh, that'd be lovely.
And then is the Minneapolis Guitar Quartet.
Oh,
And
that
then,
sounds good.
then
too.
we end with the Isles Ensemble, which are mostly Minnesota Orchestra members.
Oh, okay.
And so you have quite a bit of variety within those 4 programs.
That is excellent. Because that, I mean, of course, it all appeals to me, but there are people who are looking for certain things, you know. But I love orchestra stuff, even though I didn't play in an orchestra, but, you know, I do have a little background in band. And this person who's coming that's playing the tuba, can we just say a little bit about him?
We can. Alan Bear.
Yes.
Is a great guy, and he is the tuba player of the New York Philharmonic.
Wow.
And so as far as the scene goes, he is one of the strongest, best leaders and teachers, because he also works at Rutgers.
Oh.
And so not only is he full-time at the New York Philharmonic, you know, he does this teaching as well. So does his wife.
Wow.
And so he has a very full life. And in the summers, then, he is in residence at the Vail Music Camp. And I think, just Vail. And maybe some others. I don't know. New York Philharmonic often does Aspen as well.
Oh.
So he is very active. And what you need to know is that he is just a really fine individual who fits in to the Midwest, because his first years, I think 10, 12 years as a professional, were in Milwaukee with the Milwaukee Symphony.
Oh, my. Now, I have to think that it's really rare to have, I think of his playing the tuba as like probably the best tuba player in the world.
Well, you know, if you can,
Or darn close.
If you can measure what's best, I don't know. But yes, I would guess just about anybody who plays the tuba knows
so.
him.
I think
or
so.
knows of him, because he's got this gorgeous sound. And one of my friends recently said, "Oh, I wouldn't want to listen to a tuba for an hour." And I said, "Oh, yes, you would. It's poetry. It's just
Yes.
gorgeous." So not only is he doing a coffee concert on Friday at noon, but the evening before at 7:30, he will play with 4 different ensembles. So like the orchestra, the St. Croix Valley Symphony Orchestra, will come in and do we're going to do 1 movement of Pictures at an Exhibition, and then we will do the Woodward Tuba Concerto, and he will do 4 movements. It's all there.
Really?
And then, I'm sorry, and then the next piece, let's see, Gary Bird's University Band, and there's about 65 people in there. They will do a concertino by a friend of ours, Gregory Fritz. And then the symphony band, my band, is going to play 1 movement of a Gary Zeke concerto for tuba. They're all very different. They're all beautiful, and there's a little bit of ear change in between each group. And then I'm helping schedule a mass tuba euphonium ensemble. And so once again, I kind of am into outreach, and that outreach is anybody who knows that they play well can email me, and then I send them a link to the music. And they're going to play together Yesterday and Wabash Cannonball.
Oh, my word.
So
People love that.
Well, they do. And so then once again, in my programming, I always make sure people understand and the music's accessible. It might stretch them, but they will enjoy something and they'll go, "Oh, I know that one." And then everybody's happy.
Oh, people are just going to absolutely love that. I think about my husband and others. And that sounds just amazing, Kris. So your skills in organizing these coffee concerts, and it is actually your brainchild.
It is.
And that's been going on for 3 years now? Because I think people in this area love to go. And it is a wonderful thing on a Friday at noon. What else?
It is wonderful, and we have such great community conversations
Yes.
around the reception table afterwards, and so you interact
yes.
with the audience,
Yes.
and the audience interacts with the guest artists.
Yes.
It's
That
beautiful.
would be a lot of fun. Well, it seems kind of strange, but I'm looking ahead to summer now, and I know many people want to know this. Will your community band be featured at Riverfest in Hudson this year?
Yes, they will, and that will be on July 20th.
Okay.
And that is a 7 p.m. concert down at the band shell.
Right.
We've only been rained out once.
Oh,
And
good.
so hopefully we'll have all of those things in order and in line. But yes, so that's again a very eclectic program, and that's got a variety show. I'm featuring some brass in it this time. We always have a little bit of poetry, and we try to keep focused on a little bit of river theme, so
Yeah.
that we're celebrating
like that.
nature and everything that's good with renewal.
That's perfect. I mean, I know we'll be seeing more about that in the future, but I just wanted to get it in there because I think the people watching these shows definitely plan to go to concerts and listen to see what they're going to attend. So honestly, I thank you so much for coming. This is so much fun for me, and it's fun to promote your wonderful ideas.
Well, I have to make sure that I said the right date. So the Festival of Hymns is Sunday the 23rd, and on the Festival of Hymns is on the 27th, and it's on the 23rd that I forgot to mention something.
Oh, okay.
April 23rd, the
Yes.
St. Clair Valley Symphony
Yes.
is playing at Trinity Lutheran Church in Stillwater.
Oh, I saw a blurb of that, but I totally
Yeah,
forgot.
And that's another program, and that one features a world premiere by Amy Nam, and she is a harpist. So she'll play also
Oh,
the
yes.
Handel, or the concerto for harp.
Yes.
And then her piece is called Mimi's Song in honor of her grandmother.
Oh, how lovely.
And so we'll be live streaming to her grandmother, who is in her 80s,
Mm-hmm.
and so who lives in Nashville, Tennessee area. So that program will include Academic Festival Overture by Brahms. I call it the popular pieces. Pictures at an exhibition, and 3 movements of that. On that program also is this Hymn for the Fallen from Saving Private Ryan, Superman, Why Not?
Oh, yeah.
John Williams had a big birthday, so you need to celebrate
melody.
that, right?
Well, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
He's
and
amazing.
He is, and still working.
I know.
I know.
Still composing, still doing movies. It's just quite a blessing that he can still do it.
And I hope to have that kind of energy and passion that will continue to go and let the fires burn.
That's the best attitude. And you're so positive, and I really admire what you do to promote music in this area and everything. So, I'm just right with you there thinking, I have so many things I want to attend. And then I just get so fired up when I get to sing again. I've had to take a little hiatus, and that's because of a surgery, but you know what? I'm coming back strong.
Wonderful, because it's
I'll
so
be
good
there.
for one's self-expression and for their soulfulness. And
It is.
And it's good for everyone. We need an audience, but we also need musicians to express themselves.
We do. So I think we've got it all in now, at least to part of July. So, you definitely have to come back on the show another time.
Thank you.
And I know you'll be planning more exciting things.
I am.
I know you. So thank you again for coming today, for telling the audience about all your activities. And I want to thank the audience for listening. And we're going to put some help up there on the screen so that you can get to some of these sites. And I do hope you join the choir, because I'm going to be singing too.